Hi everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my 2017 mid-year goal review. So the midpoint of the year has been and gone, so it is time to now check in with all of the goals that I set myself at the start of the year and kind of see how I'm getting on. If you did not see my 2017 goals video, I will link it in the cards for you guys to check out, but let's just see how I'm getting on. So we will start off with my reading goals. My very first reading goal that I set myself was, of course, the Goodreads reading challenge. I set my Goodreads reading challenge this year at 130 books. And as of the 30th of June, I had completed 116 books. So I'm obviously very on track to meet that goal. Once I hit the 130, I probably will up my goal. I'm not sure what I'm going to up it to at this point. Last year I ended up reading 200 books, and I'm actually ahead. I think at the midpoint last year I was at 100 books, and this year I'm at 116. So I am ahead of where I was even last year, but I don't want to, you know, if my reading slows down, like, that's fine. I'm really happy as long as I'm reading good books. But yeah, I am very happy with how my reading year is going in terms of quantity so far. My second reading goal was to reread Harry Potter. If you've been watching my channel, then you know that this is going very well. As of 30 June, again, I had reread the first 5 books in the series, and I'm like slowly working my way through, so I will definitely be getting to the 6th and 7th books. But I'm really excited because this, if you didn't know, was a goal that I'd set myself the year before that I didn't get to, so I'm really excited to finally be rereading Harry Potter. The third reading goal that I set for myself was to once again complete the Around the Year in 52 Books challenge. If you didn't know, the Around the Year in 52 Books is a Goodreads group with 52 basically reading challenges for the year, and the idea of it, I think, is supposed to be that you do a set challenge, like there's week 1, week 2, and there's a challenge for each week. I'm not doing that. I've just taken all 52 challenges and I just try to check them off throughout the year. As of 30th of June, I had completed 20 of the 52 challenges, so I am behind on this one. I did in previous, like last year, I did this reading challenge as well, and I used a lot of library books to complete the challenges. This year I wanted to use as many books as I owned as possible, and I had set out, if you didn't know, I did a TBR for my Around the Year in 52 Books, which again I'll link in the cards if you haven't seen, but I wanted to use as many books that I own as possible, and so I'd done that TBR, and so the 20 that I've checked off are ones that I know I've checked off, but I could probably possibly go through that list and assign other books that I have read that may fit into those challenges, and I may end up doing that at the end of the year, once I kind of see where I'm at, because I don't know that I'm going to get to every book that I was hoping to get to this year, unfortunately, but I am still hoping that I can check off all 52 of those challenges this year. The fourth reading challenge that I'd set for myself this year was to complete the 5th page of my physical to-read list. So my physical to-read list is just a spiral notebook that I keep that has every book that I've basically ever noticed that I want to read, and I've written them all down in here. And I had 9 books at the start of the year left on the bottom of page 5 that I wanted to check off because those books had been on there for forever and I just wanted to finally get to them. As of the halfway point of the year, I have read 3 of those books. I have read A Disobedient Girl by Rue Freeman, Telltale by Sam Hayes, and The Winter House by Nikki Gerard. I have also DNF'd another one, Playing the Field by Zoe Foster. I DNF'd, so that's 4 of the 9. However, there are another 2 that I believe it's 2, let me just check. Yes, 2 that I'm no longer planning to read. The first of those is Love Machine by Clinton Coward. So I looked up this book, and my library didn't have it, and then I looked on Goodreads, and it's got like no ratings on Goodreads, and I looked on Amazon and I couldn't find it, and I basically just had no idea how I was going to get my hands on a copy of this. And I read the synopsis on Goodreads, and I can't even remember what it was now, but I wasn't really that interested, to be honest, so I just decided that I didn't really care about reading that, and I was fine with just crossing it off the list without reading it. And the other one I crossed off was A Wild Affair by Gemma Townley. So that, it turns out, is the 2nd book in a trilogy, and I looked it up on to try to get them from the library, and the library had, I think it was the first 2? No, they had the 1st and the 3rd, but not the 2nd, or something like that. They had 2 of them and not the 3rd. And so I was like, oh, I don't really want to get them from the library and then not be able to read all of them. So then I had a look on Amazon. They do have them on Amazon, but they're $13 each on Amazon. I ain't paying $13. And this is just like a chick lit series about a girl who pretends to her grandmother, I think to make her grandmother happy because her grandmother's dying. She pretends to be like married to this guy, and he like helps her out by pretending to be married to her. But then in her grandmother's will, she's left like this fortune, but it's left to her like as the married name, and so they have to like get married so that she can get this fortune. And like it doesn't, like it sounds like it might be like fun, but I'm not necessarily that interested in it, so I just decided to cross that one off as well. So to complete this challenge, I do only have 3 more books to read. That is Blue Bloods by Melissa Dela Cruz, Players by Karen Swan, and Getting Over Mr. Right by Chrissy Manby. And I do actually have all 3 of those books out from the library, so I should definitely, hopefully, be able to complete this goal for 2017. So my next reading goal was kind of a continuation of the previous goal, and that was to read 10 of the first 20 books that I had marked as to read on Goodreads. So again, the idea of this challenge was just that I wanted to be getting to those books that I had wanted to read like a really, really long time ago, and I just never got to. So as of the halfway point of this year, I have read 3 of those books. I've read Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, Bridget Jones' Diary by Helen Fielding, and The Gift of Looking Closely by Al Brooks. I do own another 5 that I could, like of the ones on this, I actually own 5 of them that I'm hoping to get to later on this year. And I have another one that I've requested from the library. So that would take me to 9. And I'll probably get another one from the library and choose another one from that list. I'm not sure which one at this point, but I am still hopeful that I'm going to be able to complete this goal, even though I've only read 3 of the 10 so far. And my final reading goal was to read 50 books from my physical TBR shelf, so like the bookshelves in my room and the bookshelf and the piles of books on the floor. I wanted to read 50 of those books that I owned prior to 2016. Now, I was actually surprised by this when I tallied it up because I didn't think I was doing very well on this goal, because while I have been reading quite a few books that I own this year, which is really, really good, I've read a lot of the books that I bought this year. And that's only because they were continuations in series or by authors that I've read before. So like, for example, I bought King's Cage this year because it was the 3rd book in the Red Queen series, and I've read it, but I only bought it this year. That type of situation. But when I tallied up the books that I've read that I owned before 2017, I think I was saying 2016 in this. It's real 2017, Karen. That I owned prior to this year, I've read 23. So I'm actually really, really happy with that because I'm almost halfway, and when I kind of mapped out my reading for what I think my reading is going to look like for the second half of the year, a lot of the books I'm planning to read are books that I own. So I'm really hoping that I'm going to be able to read even more than 50 from my physical list that I owned prior to this year. And then finally, I had set myself one channel goal, and that was to comment on at least one video that I watched every day. Now, I haven't really been accomplishing this in that I definitely have not commented on a video every day this year. Like, that just hasn't happened. But I feel like I've been doing a lot better with kind of the spirit in which this goal was set, in that I wanted to be more involved, like, in the community, in the bookish, like, and booktube community. And I really feel like I've been doing well at that this year. I have been commenting a lot more, even though it hasn't been every day. I have been commenting on people's videos like a lot more this year. And I feel like I've just made a lot more friendships this year, and I've really been connecting with people more and like interacting in the comments and stuff. And I've just been having a really, really good time like talking to everyone this year. So even though I haven't technically met the goal, I do feel really good about that goal. And at the moment, I would call it a win. So let's hope that I can keep it up and be communicating with even more people in the second half of the year. So that is my mid-year goal review. I'm pretty happy with most of these as to where I'm up to, and I'm really hopeful that I'm actually going to be able to complete all of these goals. I hope. The only one that I'm really like a bit like, will I be able to do it, is the Around the Year in 52 Books challenge, because I am pretty behind on that one, but I am keeping my fingers crossed. I'm pretty hopeful. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've got any view on any of my goals. If you want any more detail about what books I've read or anything like that, then please do leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to chat about it. How are you guys going with your 2017 goals? I would love to know that as well. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. But that's all I've got for this video today. Bye guys!